The Creative Collective is a networking group for creative businesses. And this is their podcast.
That's all we're going to be. Everything I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to be thinking, can I put a little drum roll after this or some applause? Yeah. Should we just get it out of the way now? Just go through it.
Go on then. What does A do?
So A is...
this is when we come on.
So we've just come on. We'll fix this in the mix. That's good.
Nice.
B is...
That's going into the ad break.
Yep, so that's a sponsorship read.
Yep.
C is... I was just...
Hold it down.
There you go.
I've just said something great. There we go.
And then D, as we know, is... Okay, right, we've got that out of our system. Episode 25.
I was just thinking, have we though?
No, never. Nikki has made a terrible mistake mentioning the sound effects. So, episode 25 is all about how we manage our money in our business, which is, I think, quite an interesting subject. Obviously, we're no experts, but what we're going to do is talk about how we organise our finances, what's worked, what hasn't worked. Mm-hmm. Because I think we've had chats about money, not specifics, but how we sort of deal with things. And maybe, potentially, it will give people other ideas, or maybe other ideas about how not to do it. Because obviously we're not perfect. And there's always... Well, you are, of course. You're arrogant and perfect. You're perfectly arrogant.
Love that.
Yeah. So, where do you want to start with this? Shall we start with maybe a good starting point could be when an invoice is paid, that moment, what's the process?
When an invoice is paid?
Yeah.
Should I start?
Yeah.
When an invoice is paid, first of all, I rejoice.
You do a little victory dance.
Yep. I tend to let them build up in my business bank account, and then I kind of do it every couple of weeks. Move the money into different places. Otherwise, I'd be doing it. You know, I have lots of invoices being paid at lots of different times, so I can't be doing
lots of invoices.
Loads. Like, it's almost unmanageable. And no, my point is that they come in all different. I don't want to have to do that job every day. So 20% goes into a tax account.
Okay.
For tax and national insurance.
When you say account, is it a bank account that's got sort of what? So, for instance, Starling have spaces, and you can label. You can basically sort of have different accounts in a bigger account.
Yes. So I'll tell you where it actually goes.
Okay.
And this is something that when I learned that I should be doing this, or that this is a good thing to do, I felt really stupid that I hadn't been doing it already, because it just makes so much sense. So when the tax year ended, I always used to get that job out of the way really quickly, get the tax return filled in, submitted, pay as soon as they tell me how much I owe, because I wanted it done and I can forget about it. And then until someone said to me, that money that you're giving them, your tax money, why don't you keep that until like a week before the last payment date, put it in a savings account, then you get the interest on it, and they don't. And I thought, So that's what I do. That's where that 20% goes now. It goes into an ISA, actually.
Good. Okay.
And then into a different savings if I ever max that out. 20% into a savings, waiting until the tax return needs to be paid, basically, in January or whenever it is. And then I move 10% of every job into like an emergency pot.
Yep.
And that covers things like, anything breaks down. But it also will build up a pot for holidays and things like that. And it does build up quite quickly. It's nice to see it growing.
Yep.
It's nice to see that there. But that just goes into a personal savings thing, like easy access savings thing. And then the rest of it just into I move the rest of it into my personal account.
Okay. So maybe we can talk a bit about business accounts later, because there's been loads of chat about whether you should set up as a limited company, whether you should stay self-employed, and everything around that is business accounts and how legitimate, I suppose, you feel. And I think we're both in a situation where we're definitely both self-employed. We haven't got a limited company, just us. And I don't even have a business account.
Oh, that's interesting. Because I have Starling, but I didn't straight away, and I would do everything through my personal account, and then it just got a bit messy for me. The busier I got, I guess it's different from you because you don't have 50 video jobs every month, so there's not lots of transactions, but they're higher, like you call it, higher ticket.
Yeah.
Whereas with voiceover, it can be lots and lots and lots of small ones, and it just got very messy with food, days out, and then all these invoices in and out of the same one. So that's why I've got the business bank to tidy it up, really.
Okay. Yeah, when I say I don't have a business account, most of my money is still in my personal. I do have a business account, but it's still, I use that more for organisation more than anything else. Okay, so 20% tax, 20%, 10% rainy day slush fund, emergency holidays, good stuff, and then 70% just is
blitzing it on whatever
bills, basically.
Yeah, bills and food
and life.
Yeah,
and your holidays to the Bahamas and things like that. Okay, so your split is 70-30.
I know yours is different.
Well, mine is. It has changed a bit.
Okay.
But what I aim to do, so this is the overall structure, is I put 50% away if I can. And that goes, and that fits. So the 50% is bills and lifestyle and everything like that. The other 50% is tax. Try to invest a bit, a small amount, but still every invoice goes towards that. And kind of an emergency fund, just because obviously equipment's very expensive. And I try and build up enough in a savings account that is X amount, and when I hit that amount, I then put away about 20% of my invoice, so that comes right down.
Yeah.
But basically, I try and overpay to that account, so I've got that peace of mind.
Yeah, and then the rest of the year you can live the life of Riley.
Exactly. So then, when invoices come in, it will go on to bills or whatever. But it just gives me a bit of a safety net.
Nice.
And my the calculation that I do is so a year ahead of tax. So it's 2 tax payments because obviously it's July and January, and then 5 months bill money. That's in that account.
Yeah.
And once I hit that, then I bring down the 50% turns more like into a 70-30, 80-20.
You mentioned investing. What does that mean?
So I personally, I opened a LISA account, which is a lifetime ISA.
But you're younger than me, aren't you? So you can do that. I can't do that.
Yeah, I don't know
I think it's 40 is the...
Yeah. Well, you can continue to pay in after 40.
Yeah, but you can't open one.
Yes. Yeah. And I did mine 2 or 3 years ago. But it's it's ridiculous in terms of it's a government scheme. You put in, just say you put in 4,000, the government will put in 1,000. So whatever you put in, the government put in an extra 25%. Plus you've got the stocks and shares so working in the background too. So the plan is for that, is that if I can do that, even if I do, whatever that is amount every single year for an extended period of time until you're 50, and then you can't pay in anything after 50. So then the plan is potentially to then start a SIP pension, which is a self-employed pension, and then continue until I can retire at some point.
Very nice.
When I say retire, maybe we can talk about like what the end goal is at some point for our businesses, because that's an interesting.
That's a good one.
That's episode 4. Okay, we've we couldn't work out. We always batch record these in fours, and we couldn't work out what the fourth episode is, but we've just got it. So that's what I do. I try and be ultra. So this is my financial motto, and I got this from my dad. So whenever an invoice comes in, and it's so easy to think, I could do it, I could do that, I could spend on that, I ask myself, what is the most boring thing I can do with this invoice? And generally, it will be like pay that bill, or invest it there, or put it towards a tax that I know I've got to pay.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a good starting point, because if you do that for long enough, and you're lucky enough to have work coming in and everything, it just puts you in a bit of a good position. So I kind of live my financial life by what's the most boring thing I can do with this.
Is it boring, or is it making your future more exciting?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Okay. That's a good reframe. Yeah.
I had an email yesterday, I think. So my... we're in sync with our coughs. It's not beautiful.
Should have done that. We should have done. Wouldn't have worked, would it?
No. Didn't like that. You thrown me. Oh no, I got an email yesterday from my ISA is with Moneybox. So it's basically just an app bank account. They don't have any physical branches. Not that many places do anymore. And I had not a statement, but it's just, here's your year review of your ISA since you've had it with us, or however long it was. And it was nice to see how much interest I'd taken for myself, to sort of offset a bit that's going to come out for the tax at some point. So it is a rewarding thing, not just financially. Well, it is financially, but not in terms of just the money. It does make you feel better that, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice pot.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think so much of being self-employed or running your own business, for me anyway, is being ultra conservative with money gives me peace of mind, which allows me to enjoy my business a lot more.
If there was one lifestyle expense that you really enjoy that you had to knock on the head, first of all, how would you cope? But what would, if you really, really needed to save money, what would you get rid of first, do you think?
Well, are we talking, because hobbies cost money, of course, don't they? Yeah. So are we talking hobbies? Are we talking holidays?
It could be anything. I'm talking about things that were like a regular expense. So rather than a one-off holiday, it might be something like, I don't know, Netflix, or your new pool cue you buy every month, that sort of thing.
Because I've snapped the old one because I got in a rage.
Yeah. I haven't got any money. Snap, damn it.
Well, I suppose...
Let me ask the question again.
Okay. It was a great question.
I don't like it anymore. What would you just think, well, that's the first to go? Because the other one was a bit, I don't know, that didn't really work. But.
Well, we've actually done this recently, myself and my wife, looking at finances and seeing and like we're in an okay position, so it's not like we're...
Why?
Yeah, I don't, yeah. If I took that too far, people would think I was bragging. Yeah. And I also don't want to think people like we're going through and our finances and going through every single penny. But Sky, for instance, we worked out that if we wanted everything with Sky and Netflix, it was going to cost like 90 to 100 quid, which is absolutely, and we could afford that, and that's fine. But in answer to your question, that's going to be the first thing that goes, because you can always, there's ways of watching stuff. Yeah, so there's other ways to watch things. There's other ways to entertain yourself. So it would be, I think the nice thing is that if you're ultra conservative with your money, if things do go wrong, there's still a bit of flex and a bit of buffer. Because you've got that peace of mind, because you've got that foundation. Go on.
Here's another question, an add-on question then.
Oh, okay.
If you needed money, would you cut an expense from personal life or from business first?
Oh, personal.
Okay.
Yeah. With with the thought that, well, when the business gets back, I can just sort of bring
Yeah.
that back. But
So
yeah,
it'd be like, for me, it'd be like, I really need that second mobile phone,
yeah,
but my kids don't need school clothes.
yes, exactly. Yeah. What about you? What would you? Yeah, that
A
worked.
bit late.
It's
Guys, timing.
all in the timing. What about you? What would your first expense be if your invoices didn't or stopped rolling in? Would it be TV? Would it be guitar pedals? Because I know you like.
Well, I have sold some recently, actually. I'm going to sell a guitar as well soon.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's a shame.
it's been in the roof for like 10 years.
Oh, okay.
It's probably completely
In
ruined.
the roof.
Yeah, it's ruined now.
Stuck in the
Yeah.
roof.
Don't want that. What was the question?
It was your first expense that you
Yes,
would
well,
knock
yeah.
on the head.
Well, I'm currently in the to and fro with Virgin Media again, that you go through every sort of 2 years with them, saying, I've been with you for 40 years now. You're going to give me any discounts? And they say no.
Then you leave.
Yeah,
and
and then go back.
you do a dance.
So it's always that sort of thing. I think it's the media side of stuff.
Okay.
It's not a massive expense, but I don't want to keep giving them money when they're not giving me any improvements,
Yeah.
sort of thing. And they do put it up maybe every April, I think, anyway. Like their costs are going up all the time. And like you say, there's other ways of entertaining yourself. But I've got kids to think about. They watch a lot of that stuff on the telly and whatever. But it's the internet. I need that internet.
Yeah.
I can't be without that, and I can't risk losing it either. If something happens with them and they say, right, see you later then, and they don't give, I've got to sort another one out and hope that they can get it in by the time the other one cuts off. So it's always a bit like that. But I don't know. Maybe things like, because for a long time I didn't drink, I haven't drunk alcohol for 5 or 6 years. And for a long time I didn't touch 0% until you forced me to drink 0%.
Now you bloody love them.
Yeah, and maybe something like that. Because now I'm
Yeah.
back into the supermarket. Like, maybe I'll try those.
Yeah,
Try
but how
3
much?
of those.
But how much you spend on those?
Well, it's like, I don't know, £5-6 a week. So it's not loads of money, but it's
still.
£20 a week, £20 a month
Yeah,
ish, I
okay.
guess. 25.
Yeah, yeah, and it all adds up.
Exactly.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Summary.
A summary. So money management is crucial in your business. Well, just before we wrap up, another thing that and it's something that I don't think many people talk about, because when you set up a creative business, it's all about the work and the creativity and the fun and everything like that. But I would say that if your money management skills are decent or you're organised with it, it does free you up actually to do better projects, and projects potentially that you want to do that maybe you couldn't do if you were really relying on bigger paying gigs that you didn't want to do. Because it just makes everything just a lot more smooth in your business,
Yep.
doesn't it?
How about, you got 60 seconds to answer. Financial anxiety. I asked this to someone yesterday. I said, how do you deal with financial anxiety? And they said, make more money. Which is, yes, that helps. Great answer. But that's the hurdle to get over, isn't it? How would you suggest someone copes with that, or deals with it better?
Well, to do that in 60 seconds is mad, isn't it? And I've padded now, so about 45 seconds. So if I can pad even longer, it means we can wrap up. Well, I think it comes down to having a process, like we've just talked about. There's a clear process in place, and if you're controlling that, well, you're controlling your finances to a certain extent. And then it would be the case on the business side. What are the processes that you need to put into place to get more work, to get more money, to ease that anxiety? In a few seconds.
Beautiful.
What about you?
The same.
Excellent.
Time's up. Good night,
20
everybody.
minutes.